Well, hi, my name is Dan Frey. I'm a professor of mechanical engineering at MIT, and I'm also faculty director of D-Lab. D-Lab is an organization at MIT that engages MIT students and staff and faculty in work to address problems related to poverty. D-Lab has been around since about 2002, and it has really, over that time, grown and established a strong reputation within MIT and abroad for being effective in finding practical solutions, and especially lately for working with people in the community to conceive of those interventions and to scale them up to ultimately address the problems. And now they would like to come into a new phase, maybe to become more research intensive. And in this phase, they asked me to come in and to help them with that transition. I think maybe the reason they picked me is that I have been doing work with D-Lab over the years. I have supervised maybe 10 theses over time. So I understand D-Lab reasonably well. And also the things that I do have substantial relevance for D-Lab. I work in design and experimentation and decision making. And certainly that's a big part of doing work in the developing world. Designing solutions, doing experiments to understand what works and what doesn't work, helping people to make decisions about what technologies to adopt. In particular, I've been focused a lot lately on technology evaluation. So taking an array of products and technologies that have been proposed for addressing a problem like clean water or off-grid lighting, and to evaluate the different options that are available in the marketplace, to bring them into the lab, to understand their performance, and to go out in the field, understand their use patterns. First of all, we probably start by going into the field. We talk to people that are using lanterns, try to understand what they want from their lanterns, so that we can even define what things we'll measure. So if we are characterizing, say, a solar lantern, and we understand that often they're being used for looking around for something outdoors, then we can define area lighting as an objective. And then if we see in other cases that they're being used for reading, then we can say task illumination in close is another performance metric that we want to assess. So it starts in the field, and in many cases comes back into the lab. We'll bring the products in that we saw out in the community and in the shops, bring them back to MIT in an environment where we can gather cleaner data, understand their performance, and then publish results. And then there again, we have to think about the field. In what form will these data be useful to people that have to spend their money on these technologies? So we worked a lot with consumer reports to understand how they present their results and try to adapt those formats to our purposes.